Hi, my name is Amy Charron. I have a horrific story, but what may even shock you more is my story is countless stories. There is a real problem going on. I call it an epidemic, where countless parents are falsely accused. So their child becomes state property and ends up in pretty much a money-making scam. Now, August 12th is right around the corner, and I will be downtown Houston, Texas on this nationwide protest day in hopes of bringing back our stolen children. And I do invite you to join us if you are in Harris County, if you're in Houston, or even if you're in Texas. But if not, please get involved. Every state, I believe, has one going on. Find out with your community what y'all can do to get involved. Because right now, I feel like we're a joke to this, I call it a huge corporation actually, and it does involve organized crime. I feel if more people rise up and take action, I feel, I could be wrong, but they're going to start laying off, okay? Because what they're doing right now is so unlawful. Because you see, what amazes me is the fact that they have some kind of immunity going on. And this immunity protects them from everything like they did in my case. Hiring doctors to lie under oath, pretty much red flagging me where I can't get any help, stealing my records. I mean, I could go on and on. Do I believe my harassment and hacking and all the things that I've endured, do I believe it's a coincidence? Of course not. None of these things happened to me before my daughter was taken. You see, the more I exposed, the more I became a target. And when I say I've risked my life literally for this cause and to save my only child, I mean it. I've proven it. My evidence site was at almost, well, the site with all my evidence was at almost 10,000 viewers before it was shut down for 4 months. This will make some of you very angry, the people that are against me, but my evidence site is back up. And I am not going to stop exposing. You can rob me from all that you've robbed me from. You took my only child, you took my home, and pretty much everything I've ever loved has been taken from me. But you know what? You can't take away my faith. And you can't take away my will to live. And you can't take away my fight. And the only thing I can say is, I want to see more people get out there and fight as publicly as I have. Now, I'm going to be real straight with you right now. I am very sick right now. You may say, looking at me, she doesn't look sick. Well, I'm a makeup artist, so believe me, I can hide a lot. But I have been walking to work, and I have been walking to things I've had to do, freelancing jobs and whatnot. And about 110 heat index, because my car broke down, and it was at a $2,800 repair. I got so sick from the heat that I thought I was going to faint. And that was only 2 days ago. And now I'm doing this YouTube. I say this for a reason. Because I am so uncomfortable as I'm doing this interview. Or I guess it's not an interview, but as I'm trying to expose a little bit of my story and the need to have people there on August 12th. I know it's going to be hot. I know it's going to be uncomfortable. But you know what? Just like I don't feel like doing this as bad as I feel today. I'm doing it because that's how passionately I believe that America has issues that majorly need to be addressed. When you live in a country where children can be taken for a money-making scam and people are allowed to do illegal things to win their cases, I got a real problem with that. And you know what? You should too. You may say, but Amy, that's not my child. That's just one child. You're just one woman. Really? Let me cut to the chase here. My story is countless stories. My child is countless children whose screams have been ignored. I won't turn my back on those that are in my shoes. And I will never give up on our stolen children. And I can only pray that I see a change in this country that I used to be proud of. I'm not proud of this country. Why should I be? I earned my opinion. The only way I would change my mind is to see justice for my child and I, and for countless others. I am horrified to know that I live in a place where our founding fathers died for our constitutional rights, and that there seems to be some kind of, it's so hard for me to put this in words because, I don't know, 5 years ago, I would have thought this sounds like a fiction movie, you know? I wouldn't have believed my story. But I'm living it, and I've proved my claims are true. I don't know what else people expect of me. I am not Superwoman. I am one woman getting out there and doing a very dangerous job. Believe me, exposing is very dangerous. I could say, let's ask Senator Nancy Schaefer this, but we can't, can we? Because she's dead. Her and her husband are dead, and she was exposing this madness like I've been. And coincidentally, since I started exposing it, I started getting threatened and harassed. I do believe people like us are bumped off. And I do believe it involves organized crime, and I do believe it's to shut us up. And I don't believe Senator Nancy Schaefer committed suicide with her husband. And I will say, if anything happens to me, that's why I wanted to put this on film, on a YouTube, because believe me, I'm not suicidal in any way, shape, or form. I'm fighting as bad as I feel physically. I'm fighting every day. I'm worn out, I'm not going to lie. But nothing's going to stop me unless I quit breathing. And if I quit breathing, you know where to look. I hope you know who the suspects should be. Because I can assure you, I will never take my life. I've lost everything. If I'm still at this 3 years later, then I'm certainly not as delusional as they stated. And I'm certainly not as mentally challenged as they stated. And I was so falsely accused, to the point that many of my friends, they about hit the floor. I mean, they cannot believe that I still don't have my child. They can't believe it. I know a lot of people, y'all. I really do. I've always been a very social person. I've always had very social jobs. I've never been the kind of girl that's, you know, quiet behind a desk. I've always had jobs where I'm with people in person, and no one's ever accused me of the things that this state accused me of when they coincidentally found a way to take my child. Please look me up. You can YouTube me, you can Google me, and if you doubt other people's stories because they sound like hearsay, I can assure you my story is not hearsay. You look at the evidence, and one thing I ask is shoot it out. Shoot it out in the sense that if you see this evidence and you find it disturbing, by the way, the name of my book coming up in a couple months is Disturbed. If you find it as disturbing as most of the people I know do, then I ask you to please send it to someone you think might care. Because the more publicity this story gets, the more chances I have to win, because I can't go the law route anymore. It's too corrupted. My bogus lawyers, if you only knew how they did not even show the evidence that they held. They held it in their briefcase, in their boxes, and they didn't even pull it out. You have to ask yourself, how could that be possible? So I now ask you to be the jury trial that I need, and you decide if I was guilty, and then you also get involved and take action, because I'm telling you, a revolution is needed here. And I don't mean go out there with some, you know, what do you call those, machine guns. I'm talking get out there and fight the fight, because we're losing because we don't have enough people defending us. Our biggest weapon is knowledge. Their biggest defense is passivism, okay? And as long as people don't get involved, we're going to lose. Divided we will fail. United we will win. I am Amy Charron, and I hope to see this day is a day of hope. And I pray for a miracle. I go to bed worried sick every night about my daughter. And I know many are feeling the same way. So please, don't treat us like we're invisible. You know what? We need some compassion here, and we need some brave hearts. Thank you very much. God bless America, and God bless our stolen children. They need our protection. Thank you.